Look at the landscape. Good morning from beautiful Leh. I've just set out on a solo ride from Leh to the highest motorable road on earth, which is the Umling. It is situated at an altitude of 19,024 feet. I'm not sure what that is in meters, however I'll put that in the description. So it's going to be a 2-day round trip. I just started from Leh and I'm going to be heading towards Hanle. I'll have to stay back at Hanle for tonight, and then tomorrow early morning I'll have to go to Umling, come back to Hanle, and then get back to Leh. So the riding distance is going to be approximately about Hanle is 260 kilometers from here. Add another 70, that's 400, and another 260. So it's going to be roughly about a 650-700 kilometer round trip over the next 2 days. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Look at this beautiful monastery, or I can't call it a monastery, but it's just an arch on the road. But it's so beautiful. We're just going around the town of Leh, or around the city of Leh. Check out this fantastic landscape. This is the very first image you get the moment you get out of the aircraft. You're just surrounded by these beautiful mountains, some that are snow covered. And for people entering Leh by road, you'll actually start getting used to a lot of this en route. We are about to enter Sheh. Let me give you a glimpse of the Sheh Palace. To my right is the Indus River. We're now heading towards Kharu. So this is the same road that goes up to Manali. It's called the Leh-Manali Highway. But we're going to branch off in a place called Upshi. And Upshi is another 20 kilometers from here. So from Upshi I'm going to take a left and go towards Hanle. If I go straight, then I head towards Sachu, and then further on towards Manali. Since I already came that way, I'm not going to go that way again. We are in Kharu. So the road on the left goes to the Changla Pass, and then further on to Pangong. I've taken the road on the right, which goes to Upshi and Manali. What a fantastic landscape this is. A little wild and some beauty. And lots of beauty. Got a couple of army trucks ahead of me. The Indus is in a good flow here. The water is not very brown, which means it's not raining on top. And this is a normal flow. It's not a pretty heavy current. We've just made the entry at the checkpost and now proceeding towards Hanle. Hanle is 201 kilometers from here. Manali is 425. Hanle has got India's, or even the world's highest astronomical observatory, because it has the most number of clear sky nights. I think out of 365, there are about 278 or 280 clear nights, and they have this huge, gigantic telescope. I'm not sure if we will be given permission to enter the observatory, but we're certainly going to be riding around the observatory tomorrow. It's just deserted. I think all the traffic has gone on towards the Manali highway. To Hanle, it's absolutely deserted. By the way, you need to have inner line permits to come to Hanle. It's very easy. It's an online process. I suggest that you apply at least 3 days before. or if you already have an existing permit to lay, then you can apply one day before. I think for each day it costs about 20 rupees, so I've taken it for 2 days, one up and one down. It's a fairly straightforward online process. I can share the link in the description below. And of course I've taken a motorcycle on rent from Leh. My own motorcycle is lying about 7,000 kilometers down south of the country. There's absolutely no one on this road except me. I have no vehicles in the front, none at the back. There's another convoy of army trucks. Understandable, because Hanle is pretty close to the border. I've just been riding along the Indus River for the last 50 kilometers now. And look at the landscape. Now almost on level with the river. There's a signboard which warns of avalanches here. I had a huge stone miss me by about 20 seconds while riding towards Nubra. See all these stones. Even a small stone from a height can be disastrous. It's a painting of Buddha on the rock. There's an iron bridge. Wonder if we're going to go over it. Oh no, we're not. Let's do Tarchit. We have no work in Tarchit. How on earth are you going to describe this? Oh. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going in the right direction, but the road over there seems to be closed. There's a bus coming on the opposite side. I'll have to wait for the bus to pass. This is called the Hemia Bridge, or rather we are approaching Hemia village. The big blue truck chasing me, if you can see him on my rear view. I don't see too many shops here, maybe because it's a Sunday. I do find a restaurant, but I'm not hungry. I just thought I'll have a glass of tea. It's okay, I can continue riding. See, I'm in the middle of a rocky terrain. And the river. Kyungam. Nice name, Kyungam. I haven't put my GPS, I'm just going by the signboards on the road. Nyoma Loma Somoriri. That's a beautiful lake, Somoriri. They've literally carved a road out of the mountains. The soil is just so loose there on the other mountain, and I'm sure it's the same with this mountain as well. Looks more like canyons. You see what I mean when I say loose soil? The rocks have literally come onto the road. I'm just approaching Kiari. I see a camp over there, and I see a cafe. Maybe I can get some coffee or tea over here. And we just stopped at this army cafeteria in Chiari. Had a glass of tea, met a couple of bikers from England. I can't say bikers, bikers in America is different. Met a couple of motorcyclists from England, a few from France, and yeah, they're heading towards Somoriri. I've just been told there are no more gas stations on this route. I'm going to try and push my luck, see how much I can go, maybe buy some fuel if possible, just keep going. As of now, I have about I can say 80% or 85% fuel left in the tank, but if there's no fuel, then there is no way I can head towards Umling. I'll have to call it out at Hanle. But let's see, I'm taking it as it comes. Beautiful hanging bridge over there. It can only be used by pedestrians to get from one side to the other. The road is starting to get a little bad. Just a wee bit. There's a cute village up ahead. I like Chumathong. There's a dhaba. I can smell fuel, but I can't see any gas station. A little bit of a rough patch here. Not many people come this side, but if you want to, I'd certainly recommend this, if not for anything, at least the scenic ride. And there is hardly any traffic on the road. I think everybody's happy doing Leh, Kardungla, Pangongso, Nubra. That's about it. Maybe time is a factor for them, but then if you do have another couple of days to spare, you should certainly do this circuit. Okay, this is the Mahe checkpost. So you'll have to show your permit and make an entry here. I've been riding the last 8 kilometers on this kind of road, and I don't see any tarmac up ahead. The next pit stop is going to be at Nyoma or Nyoma, and then head towards Hanle. I like a little bit of off-roading. Too much of it gets a little boring. There's a road and a beautiful landscape. Wild ass running across the road. A pretty huge guy. It was an ass, but he was running like a horse. So that's another thing to be watchful for, wildlife, especially on empty stretches like this. What a fantastic landscape. And you can see the road going all the way there. There is no sign of civilization here. It's a very punishing terrain, so I don't think people can even think of living here. But having said that, I saw one nomad's hut a couple of kilometers back. Check out the colors. The color of the hill and the sand. Brownish terrain is giving way to a little bit of greenery over here. There's some bushes, there's some grass. I saw a signboard which said Beijing 2170 miles. Tank crossing number 2. Okay, those are where tanks cross. That is the village of Nyoma. It's at least a good 4 kilometers away. People who belong to other countries, basically those who are not Indians, you can stay here because foreigners are not allowed to stay in Hanle. So Nyoma is the next best option, and foreigners are allowed to stay here. There are a lot of homestays in Nyoma. You got to find a place to eat. I'm not very hungry, but I can eat something. Okay, there's a restaurant. Three Sisters restaurant. Okay, but I don't find anyone. Ladakh Rural Mart. Okay, there's an ATM. Telecom. Okay, I'll find some restaurants up ahead. We're just leaving from Nyoma. Had a bowl of instant noodles. The good thing, I found 2 liters of petrol in a bottle, so I managed to top up my tank. Oh, it's a lovely campsite, and there's a cricket ground as well. Okay, I don't know if this qualifies for the world's highest cricket ground, but it certainly is a very picturesque cricket ground. I'm trying hard not to get excited, but how can you not get excited when you see something like this? I really have to take a picture of this. Drive slowly, someone is waiting at home. Yes, sir. True. How the bloody hell would you describe this? There's nobody on the side of the road. Just mountains, some sand, the motorcycle, this beautiful yellow board over here, and this painting. It's not a landscape, it's a painting. This is something that you will find only in Ladakh. I've never seen this in any other part of India. Of course, every part is unique, every place has its own beauty, but this landscape, you will only find it in Ladakh. I'm saying this with confidence, not overconfidence. I'm saying it with confidence because I've ridden the entire length and breadth of India, covering all the states and union territories, and I've not seen something like this. Of course, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it with arrogance. I'm just saying it as I saw it. It's a very humbling experience. It just shows that you are a mere speck or a mere dot in this entire universe. I'm glad I decided to do Hanle. It feels like it's literally sailing in the desert. Jai Hind. The beautiful national flag amidst this setting. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm seeing a lot of tank tracks over there, and I've already crossed like 8 points where it said tank crossing zone, and these are battle tanks, mind you. The motorcycle rider in front of me seems to be doing something big. I see a huge flag. I see a board which says All India Tour. Target 5 lakh kilometer. I just saluted him. 5 lakh kilometers is no easy task. I did 20,000 and I know how tired I was. Wish him all the very best. Wish him all the good luck. Godspeed, my dear friend. One more time, we are at the river level, and there's a lot of sand on the road. It looks like a lot of river sand washed on the road or getting washed on the road. You just have to be a little careful around the corners. Had to make an entry at the checkpost after showing them the permit. Ooh, beautiful little blue iron bridge. I feel like a train going on the railway tracks. That's the sound effect. Not sure how many more checkposts to go. And they're checking the permit everywhere. And they're making an entry. So while going back, you definitely have to make another entry just to make sure you are stamped out. So now you're stamped in. Tomorrow I'll have to be stamped out. This is the beautiful village of Rango. I thought only Nubra had sand dunes, the Nubra Valley. There are more sand dunes here. In fact, there are a lot more here. I'm flanked by desert sand on either side. In the middle you have this lovely black tar road, and on the sides you have reflectors. You have a milestone as well. Very pretty, and there are some solar panels. Let's see if we can get a good picture of them. Oh, beautiful. Hey, Aki. The landscape keeps changing. It is brown and then it becomes green, and there's a river flowing, and then you have these lovely mountains all around. The color of that mountain is very interesting. It is like chocolate brown, very dark brown, and this side it is light brown. These meadows appear and disappear all of a sudden. They appear out of nowhere and disappear all of a sudden. See a couple of trucks coming towards me. I might just have to give them way before proceeding. Yep. Otherwise I have to get off the road, and the soil is way too loose. So it's better that they get the right of way. And now I can ride comfortably. We are 10 kilometers away from Hanle. I've been riding for roughly about 6 hours now. I've covered a total of 247 kilometers, and I have 9 more to go. Not bad. I stopped only twice. Once for a cup of tea, and once for lunch and fuel put together. I need to check if the mobile network works in Hanle. I found an accommodation. I just need to find my way to get to that accommodation. There are a lot of homestays in Hanle. And again, I'm just reiterating the fact that only Indian citizens can stay in Hanle. I think that is the Hanle Monastery. I think we are here at Hanle. I just need to go and find where the accommodation is. One way to reach Umling via the Fotila top, which was 92 kilometers. Great, so I'm not going through this route. I'm going through another route which is about 70 kilometers long. That's the first glimpse of the Hanle Astronomical Observatory. There's a dome over there. In fact, there are 2. I feel I'm almost near my homestay. There are some wild ponies headed in my direction, and before they knock me off, let me get going. There are lots of homestays. Of course, you don't expect creature comforts here. Most of them are pretty basic. and most of them provide I think dinner and breakfast. You can see how clear the sky is. No wonder they set up that astronomical observatory over here. It's just a blue sky, and looks like this is my homestay. Yes, this is how it looked in the pictures. Again, basic, but should be good enough. This is my room in Hanle. You know the best part? The solar observatory right there. I'm sorry, I can't call it the solar observatory. It's called the astronomical observatory. See if I can open the window and show you a better view. There we go. See that? The dome there, the silver color dome. And this is just a view of the village. I paid 2,000 rupees, which includes breakfast, dinner and tea. I'm not going to be there for breakfast tomorrow. I plan to leave a little early. It's tea time right now. Let me go and grab a cuppa. It's a beautiful full moon night. It's not night yet, although it is almost 8 p.m. right now. It's more of I don't want this to be a very emotional moment. I can already feel it. My fingers are cold. They're numb. I can hardly feel them. My breath is getting very shallow. The oxygen levels are very low. We are there. Welcome to the Umling, 19,024 feet above sea level.